Donald Trump receives a message from an alien civilization sci-fi story. At exactly 3:17 a.m., every radar station across the planet detected the same impossible signal. It wasn't a radio wave. It wasn't a laser transmission. It wasn't anything humanity had ever seen. For 17 seconds, every military satellite froze in orbit. Every deep space telescope stopped tracking the stars. Every encrypted communication network went silent. Then, everything returned to normal. Except for one screen. Inside the White House Situation Room, a secure monitor suddenly displayed symbols unlike any known language. They shifted and rearranged themselves until they formed perfect English. We have watched humanity for 100,000 years. We request one conversation. The room became silent. Military officers searched for hackers. NASA searched for solar interference. The Space Force scanned every satellite. Nothing. The signal wasn't coming from Earth. It wasn't even coming from the solar system. It originated nearly 12,000 light-years away. No technology known to humanity could accomplish that. Within minutes, Donald Trump was escorted into the Situation Room. The message remained on the screen. As everyone watched, another sentence appeared. Only one human leader may answer. No one spoke. The president looked around the room. Can anyone explain this? No one could. Scientists from NASA arrived within the hour. Experts from every intelligence agency examined the transmission. Every test reached the same conclusion. The signal was authentic. It had not been created by any nation on Earth. For the first time in human history, humanity wasn't alone. A microphone was placed in front of the monitor. The president leaned forward. This is the President of the United States. Who are you? For nearly 10 seconds. Nothing happened. Then the monitor flashed. A new message appeared. We are the custodians. The room exchanged confused looks. Another sentence followed. We preserve civilizations before they destroy themselves. Every scientist stared at the screen. The signal continued. Your species has reached the final threshold. One intelligence officer whispered. What threshold? As if it had heard him. The message changed again. The threshold between survival and extinction. Silence filled the room. Then something happened that no one expected. Every screen inside the White House activated simultaneously. Maps. Charts. Images. Thousands of stars. Entire galaxies. None of them had been stored on any computer. The aliens were broadcasting directly into every display. One image showed an enormous structure floating between stars. It surrounded an entire sun. Another displayed planets larger than Jupiter being moved like chess pieces. Another revealed fleets of impossible spacecraft stretching across light years. Human technology looked primitive by comparison. The custodians continued. Thousands of civilizations have existed before yours. Most destroyed themselves. A few survived. The president folded his arms. What do you want from us? The answer appeared instantly. To offer a choice. The room became even quieter. The next message shocked everyone. Join the Galactic Assembly. Or remain alone forever. Scientists looked at one another. Could humanity really become part of an interstellar civilization? The president asked another question. Why us? Several seconds passed. Then the reply arrived. Because humanity possesses something the galaxy has lost. Curiosity spread across the room. What is it? The answer appeared. Unpredictability. The custodians explained that every advanced civilization eventually became identical. Perfect order. Perfect logic. Perfect stability. Innovation slowly disappeared. Risk vanished. Discovery stopped. Entire civilizations became trapped by their own perfection. Humanity was different. Humans made irrational decisions. Humans challenged impossible odds. Humans explored simply because they were curious. Those flaws were actually strengths. The galaxy needed humanity more than humanity needed the galaxy. Then another image appeared. It showed an enormous black sphere approaching the Milky Way. Its size exceeded entire solar systems. Scientists immediately realized the horrifying truth. It wasn't a planet. It wasn't a star. It was a machine. The custodians transmitted another warning. It consumes civilizations. The room fell silent. The object had already erased hundreds of worlds. Every civilization that resisted had disappeared. Only a united galaxy had managed to slow it. But not stop it. The president stared at the impossible image. When will it arrive? The response appeared. 30 Earth years. Gasps echoed throughout the room. 30 years. Humanity had only 30 years. The president looked toward the scientists. What are our chances? No one answered. The custodians answered instead. Alone, less than 1%. Another sentence appeared. Together, 94%. The room understood exactly what that meant. This wasn't merely first contact. It was an invitation to survive. The president paused before asking one final question. Why reveal yourselves now? The reply appeared more slowly than before. Because your species has finally begun looking outward instead of only inward. Images of the moon, Mars, deep space telescopes, interstellar probes filled every screen. Humanity had taken its first small steps toward the stars. The custodians had noticed. Then something extraordinary happened. The monitor displayed a countdown. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. The message beneath it read. Your answer determines Earth's future. The room became divided. Some argued humanity should join immediately. Others warned it could be a trap. Military leaders wanted more information. Scientists wanted to accept. No one agreed. 20 seconds remained. The president looked around the room. If they're telling the truth. He paused. History changes tonight. 10 seconds. The countdown reached 0. The monitor flashed white. Then one final sentence appeared. Your decision has been recorded. Everyone looked confused. No one had answered. The president frowned. We never gave them a response. The screen displayed its final message. Every action is an answer. At that exact moment, every satellite around Earth detected thousands of distant lights emerging from deep space. Not attacking. Not retreating. Waiting. The stars themselves seemed to come alive. Humanity realized something profound. The galaxy had been watching all along. And for the first time, Earth wasn't looking into an empty universe. The universe was looking back. The lights beyond the solar system remained perfectly still. Thousands of glowing objects floated in formation, far beyond Pluto. They did not move. They did not transmit another message. They simply waited. Within minutes, observatories across Earth confirmed the impossible. The objects were real. Astronomers estimated there were over 40,000 ships, each larger than Earth's biggest cities. Not a single engine signature could be detected. No heat. No exhaust. No radio communication. It was as if the fleet ignored the laws of physics. Governments around the world entered emergency meetings. Military forces were placed on maximum alert. Fighter jets filled the skies. Missile defenses activated. Submarines disappeared beneath the oceans. For the first time in history, every nation shared the same concern. The unknown. Inside the White House Situation Room, scientists continued analyzing the alien transmission. Then something unusual happened. One researcher noticed a hidden pattern buried inside the original message. It wasn't just text. It was mathematics. Billions of numbers formed an enormous equation. The equation described a new understanding of gravity. Another section explained energy production that required no fuel. Another contained medical knowledge capable of curing diseases humanity had battled for centuries. The message wasn't simply communication. It was a library. A gift. Or perhaps a test. The president studied the information. If this knowledge is real, one physicist interrupted, it would advance humanity by thousands of years. Another scientist shook her head. Only if we understand it. The equations were so advanced that even the world's greatest mathematicians struggled to follow the first page. Then the monitor activated again. A new sentence appeared. Knowledge without wisdom destroys civilizations. The room became silent. The custodians were still watching. The president stepped toward the screen. What exactly are you testing? The answer arrived immediately. Character. Everyone exchanged confused looks. The next message appeared one word at a time. Power reveals character. Suddenly every display changed. Earth disappeared. Instead, a distant planet appeared. Blue oceans. Green forests. Towering cities. The world looked peaceful. Then explosions erupted across the surface. Cities burned. Continents cracked apart. Within minutes, the beautiful world became lifeless. Another sentence appeared. Civilization number 4193. Another planet appeared. This one had magnificent floating cities suspended above golden clouds. Moments later, its own weapons destroyed everything. Civilization number 8021. Then another. And another. And another. Entire worlds vanished before everyone's eyes. Some had mastered faster-than-light travel. Others had controlled black holes. None survived themselves. The custodians finally explained. Technology is never the greatest danger. A pause. Ego is. No one spoke. The president looked around the room. Every scientist understood the warning. Humanity wasn't being judged by its intelligence. It was being judged by how it handled power. Hours passed. Then every telescope detected movement. One ship separated from the enormous fleet. It accelerated toward Earth. Not quickly. Gracefully. Within seconds it crossed billions of kilometers. Then, it stopped exactly halfway between Earth and the Moon. Every radar system locked onto it. The object measured nearly 20 kilometers across. Its surface reflected no light. It appeared darker than space itself. No doors. No windows. No visible engines. Just smooth black metal. Military commanders requested permission to prepare defensive options. Before anyone could answer, every weapon system on Earth shut down. Missile silos. Aircraft carriers. Nuclear submarines. Nothing responded. No damage had been done. The systems simply refused to operate. Panic spread through military headquarters. Then the alien message appeared once more. We disable weapons before fear creates tragedy. A long silence followed. Suddenly, a beam of blue light emerged from the enormous vessel. The beam reached the moon. For several terrifying seconds, nothing happened. Then every telescope zoomed closer. The moon wasn't exploding. It was changing. Gigantic symbols appeared across its surface. Each symbol stretched hundreds of kilometers. Ancient. Elegant. Impossible. Computers immediately began translating them. The message read, "Every civilization leaves a mark." Another line appeared. "What will humanity leave behind?" The question echoed across every news network on Earth. People gathered in homes, schools, churches, mosques, temples. Entire cities watched the moon together. For one brief night, humanity stopped arguing, stopped fighting, stopped dividing itself. Everyone looked upward, toward the same sky, toward the same mystery. Inside the alien vessel, something finally moved. A doorway formed where none had existed. Brilliant white light poured into space. A single figure stepped forward. It was taller than any human, covered in silver armor that shimmered like flowing water. Its face was hidden behind a smooth mask. Instead of walking, it floated. The being crossed the empty vacuum without a spacecraft, without a suit, without hesitation. Every camera on Earth followed its journey. Millions held their breath. The figure stopped exactly 1,000 kilometers above Earth's atmosphere. It raised one hand. Not in aggression. In greeting. Then every person on Earth heard the same voice. Not through speakers. Not through radios. Inside their minds. Calm. Ancient. Powerful. Children of Earth. A pause. Your future has begun. The stars behind the mysterious visitor suddenly shifted. Thousands more lights appeared. Then millions. The alien fleet everyone had detected was only the first wave. Beyond them stretched an armada so enormous that it surrounded entire star systems. Humanity had believed it was witnessing first contact. Instead, it had just witnessed the arrival of the smallest scout fleet in the history of the Galactic Assembly. And somewhere beyond the darkness, something far larger was already coming.